Good morning, YouTube. Sister Kate here. Once again, doing some morning chores. And I got some questions. Oh, that's going to be noisy. Yeah, that's going to be too noisy. I have to carry it. I got some questions on my video, How to Get Your Wife to Prep, about how to get the husband to prep. And I put some suggestions in the comments. But here I'll do a video on it. Because I gave it a little bit of thought. First of all, wives, you have to know your husband. What is he like? What motivates him? What's his problem with going out into the woods? Is he a germaphobe? Is he afraid he's going to get really dirty? Is he a comfort person? Does he want to know that he's going to be warm or dry or whatever? And is it just he doesn't see it's necessary? Because you gotta do your approach according to what your husband's like. So one of the first things that came to my mind is there are two ways to a man's heart or stomach or whatever. I mean, well, let's reverse that. One, is your man a man of faith? Does he believe in God? If he does, then prepping is a biblical concept, and I already mentioned it. There is verses that support that way of thinking. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, see her ways and be wise. There's the example of Noah, and there's the example of Joseph especially. Joseph prepped and saved a whole civilization, including his family. Now, how do you introduce that into conversation? I don't know. You do a Bible study. You get a movie on it. You teach it to the kids and then start putting it into action. Let them do pretend things, and maybe he notices that they're storing up their grain and getting ready to distribute it to people. You can talk about it in the context of your own neighborhood. I don't know. It's up to you to decide that for your family, but that's one avenue. Now, if he's not a believer, he's not a strong believer, then you have the other two routes, his stomach, or that route that only men and women share when they're married, hopefully. And again, I have to leave it to you how effective that route's going to be. So let's just take the food side. Men in general like fire, okay? This is sort of another thing, but we're going to swing it back to the food. If you live in suburbia, if you live in an apartment, where can you go to practice fire building? And trust me, most men like to build fires. There's just something primeval or primordial in them. So maybe a park, maybe you have a state park near you, maybe you have a campground in your area. If you talk to your husband about wanting to learn how to start fires and he's like, yeah, that sounds like it'd be interesting, well then there's your in. You set a date to do a picnic and go to one of those state parks and you start a fire. And let him control it. Let him do it. You start acting like, oh, yeah, let's put this together. And then when he wants to take over it, you let him. Because once he gets a taste of that, he's going to like it. Now, here's another route. Have a cookout in your backyard. You know, can you do that in suburbia? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're in the kind of place that has housing agreements and all that other nonsense. But if you don't, then have a campfire. And make it fun, you know, get hot dogs and hamburgers, marshmallows and things, and make s'mores with the kids, and have a family cookout first and do it over the fire. And then if your husband likes it and wants to do it again, invite another family over and have a joint one. Because a lot of times men like to share it, you know, have a few brews with their friends, cook burgers for everybody. There's something satisfying and manly about that. You know, you can even get him his own I'm the cook, what an apron, man apron, you know, with the tools that go in the pockets and everything. So, it's really an enjoyable experience for him. If he likes football, do it in relation to a football game, you know, have it before the football game and then they can go in and watch the football, but have him cook over fire. Yeah, he may have a gas grill or a charcoal grill or something, but you build the fire and let him cook over it if he doesn't want to build it. But get him that little taste of it so he starts to like it. Or think about having a smoker. A smoker is really cooking over a fire. You have to have stuff burning in there. Yes, you have a propane, you have the wood chips and stuff, but it's an outdoor cooking experience. So, you know what I mean? You can use it as an inroad. If he gets really interested, you could say, well, you know, the natives used to make little teepee-shaped things and put the meat over the arms of it and smoke it that way, honey. Let's try that. Okay, so that's the food, part of the food side. Another food side thing is Dutch oven cooking. Dutch oven cooking is easy, and it's meant to be done with charcoal from a fire. So your side of it is, wow, I saw this really delicious recipe on Pinterest. It just happens to be something you know he'd like. You know, he loves chili. Well, I saw this, you know, chili recipe, and I really want to try it. And I heard about this Dutch oven cooking thing, so let's try this here, honey. If he doesn't want to build you a fire right off the bat, cook it in the Dutch oven, like over your stove, in your oven, or in the grill or something. You can cook them all those different ways. And then go to the fire, because the fire will add taste to it and make it even smokier and deeper and richer. If you don't want to do a Dutch oven, think about a raw iron frying pan. That could be cooked over a fire. It can be cooked with a grill on top of a fire, and make his favorite meal, steaks. You know, I don't know. You know your husband. Great big burgers. Make them delicious. Cook it in the backyard first, then go on a camp out. If he doesn't want to camp with just you guys, invite a family he likes to socialize with, and you all go out there, like on a Friday night, and have a cookout. You know, in a safe, like campground, steak park, city park atmosphere first. Then start moving it out to something a little bit more rural. Okay? Okay, so that's the food aspect. Cooking over, you know, with sticks. Cooking hot dogs with sticks. Easy, quick. Lots of people like them cooked that way. Let's go to the other one. You're his wife. You guys have a relationship. Can you appeal to that in a camping kind of atmosphere? Sure you can. We're going to have a date, sweetie. The kids are going to sleep inside, and we're going to sleep in a tent outside, and then you make it romantic in there. Put your little lighted lamps, what am I trying to say? Little oil burning lamps, and, you know, maybe some music, because you're still in your backyard and you have electricity. Maybe let the kids go stay with grandma or friends, and then you guys have a romantic sleep out in your backyard. And then taking the next step. Okay, next camp out we go on. Maybe the kids are there, but they have their own tent. You guys have your tent. Do something so that sleeping in that same tent together is interesting and fun. You know, if it's the sleeping bag that you buy that's, you know, a little frou-frou, okay. If it's bringing along your little DVD player that can be run off a battery, and you guys watch a romantic movie and bring a bottle of wine, you know what I mean? Just whatever you think will appeal to your husband. What kind of things does he like? If he likes to be very clean, there's ways to be very clean. There are shower bags that you can practice with before you ever go out in the woods. Set it up. Try it in your own shower stall, then go camping and set it up, put a tarp around it and everything. Yeah, you're going to have to put some work into it, ladies. But if you get him hooked, he should start to really like this stuff and start doing it himself. And then you kind of step back and let him take over. These are just a few suggestions. I don't want to go on and on. I hope I've given you guys some tips, just a little tidbit that you can work off of to start to incorporate these things into your lives. All right. Bless you. Shalom.